Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another very special video. This is really interesting because this is the brand new, this is a brand new Mickey Mouse short of the Mickey Mouse shorts. This is Swimming Hole, and it is the premiere of Mickey Mouse Shorts Season 4. And I'm very excited for this new season. I wasn't sure that they were even going to do a 4th season, but I had a couple people here on YouTube tell me that how brand new cartoon was out, and then my best friend also told me that that the new cartoon was out. So I'm very excited for this. So without further ado, let me full screen this again. Double check, make sure everything's working. As soon as it goes away from full screen. Okay. I'm very excited to see this, so without further ado, this is, again, the new Mickey Short Swimming Hole. Start a video in 3, 2, 1, click. Hold on, wait. Okay, starting a video in 3, 2, 1, click. Wait, is that barbed wire? Ooh, I love that scenery. That's gorgeous. What?
There's just a hole where the swimming hole should be.
Pete.
Looking for this?
How the? Never mind.
Stealing the whole dang swimming hole. You can't do that. Hey,
ooh, man, I like that truck.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, look. He even kicked out all the little critters, Mick.
A snake?
Hey, the swimming hole's for everyone.
Not anymore.
Man, man, is it just me, or has the animation really improved?
This is bad, Mick. How are we gonna kick off the summer without Holy?
Yeah, how am I gonna forget my troubles? I'm gonna forget my troubles.
Pete's not gonna get away with this. We're gonna go get our hole back.
Swimming hole.
That's a 55 Chevy pickup.
Hey,
you big...
careful, boys. That's an electric fence.
Oh!
Oh, man. That place is totally booby-trapped.
Nice. Tractor.
We're coming, Holy!
I love this music.
We got him, Mick!
Oh my gosh, I freaking love that truck. Oh my gosh, the animation is just wow. Okay, is that a 55 or Chevy, or is that like a 55 Apache? I mean, Chevy pickup. Could be an Apache, I'm not sure. I love the animation of that truck.
We killed Holy!
It's a summer miracle.
There's a snake.
Hey, Pete, where are you going? The swimming hole's for everyone.
Really?
Just please don't put that swimsuit back on, okay? Please don't. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, this honestly is a really good start because this is a brand new cartoon. This is a brand new cartoon, and it's about summer. and it came out June 10th. So it's a really good short to start off summer. It really is. Now, again, I really like this. I really like this cartoon. It's in the typical concept of the hijinks with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, similar to the older black and white cartoons and even the color cartoons of the 1930s, and even like some of the cartoons that we got throughout the late 90s, early 2000s, with Mickey Mouse Works and House of Mouse. But I think it would have been hilarious if Minnie and Daisy could have been there too. I think that would have been cool. And I would like to see something with Mickey and Minnie going swimming together, but that's just me. But I'm sure there will be some fan fiction that will take care of that. So, but I gotta say, I really like this cartoon, and again, it's a great start. And my gosh, the first thing that I noticed right off the bat is the animation. The animation just seems so much more improved. The first shot with the animation, whenever Mickey, Donald, and Goofy are walking through the woods, oh my gosh, I absolutely love that scenery. It's like a brushstroke painting. The way that it looks, it's just so beautiful. And it's very different than the animation with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. Mickey, Donald, and Goofy have that 2D effect. It looks like kind of the basic. I think this might be Flash, but it looks like the 2D effect. And it's just simple colors with the characters, a simple design. And then you have the background. And it looks like a brushstroke painting. Just the way that it flows. It looks like something... one artist that comes to mind is Bob Ross. But the animation for this background is just so luscious. It's so vibrant. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Again, if this background itself would make a beautiful wallpaper as it is, and it's interesting just how it flows, how it's moving in the background with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy walking into the foreground. And again, it's just gorgeous. I mean, you see the weeping willows over on the side, you see the trees, you see the plants, the flowers. It's just gorgeous in how that it looks. I love this background. And it's also interesting that you can tell if you watch the bushes and the trees, it looks 3D. It looks 3D in how that the bushes and the trees, they seem to move separately, yet together at the same time. And it's just magnificently crafted. It's gorgeously done. It really does look wonderful. And again, I love this scenery. It's really beautiful. And even the close-up of Mickey, again, this looks like a painting. This looks like a brushstroke painting with 2D art over top of it. And that's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing. It's unique. I've never seen anything done like that before. The animation for the background is just so beautifully crafted. It looks like a painting. It truly looks. I'm looking up right now at the two Thomas Kinkade paintings that I have, and it kind of looks like something kind of like Thomas Kinkade would do as well. But I'm thinking of Bob Ross in that art style. And again, it's just gorgeous, magnificently crafted in how the animation flows. And the next time that I see the animation itself is with Pete's Truck. And not just Pete's Truck, but with the tractor that Mickey, Donald, and Goofy use. And again, that truck, oh my gosh, it's done in a cartoonish sense, yet at the same time, it's very different. And it's beautifully done in how that the truck handles. It's not in the typical bend and stretch or squash and stretch cartoon style that we've seen before, where a vehicle bends and like curls up and such. No, the truck is static. I mean, the truck's body, it does not bend, it doesn't do anything. Whenever Pete pulls out, you do see the rear end lift up on the truck, but you see no warping, you see no bending, you see no squash and stretch style, and the truck just remains one solid piece. The same thing is said for the tractor as well, and it is I love how they did that, as it really fits more into that. It really looks a lot more realistic and authentic, and I love how that they did that. And then again, the animation for the backgrounds is just well done, and I gotta say, I freaking love that pickup truck. That looks like, I mean, freaking, that looks like the 1955 Chevy pickup, or like a 55 Chevy or GMC pickup, like the Apache. That's what that truck looks like, and I love the design for it. It's a beautiful truck. Granted, I'm not fond, honestly. I mean, it isn't the animation style for the truck itself. I mean, I love the body style. I don't like the lifted wheels. And that goes with real life. I would rather have stock wheels. I don't like the lifted tires, and that goes for real life. I'd rather have stock tires, stock wheels on that truck. The body looks fine, and I like the winch on the front. I know that's not stock, but I'm certainly not complaining about that. But I'd lower it, not to the ground, but I'd put stock tires, stock wheels, and a stock suspension on it, and give it a more traditional stock stance. But that's just me. But again, I love the animation I love the 3D effect animation with the vehicles in this. And it's an interesting contrast with the 2D animation style with Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Pete. And it really does look great. I love how that it's an interesting contrast, and I love it. And we also see something interesting with the interior of, and we'll get back to that. But it's, again, the story-wise, Mickey, Donald, Goofy they just want to simply go swimming and hang out. Mickey wants to do some fishing, and they're in that jolly mood because, you know, they're thinking it's really going to be a good day. And then they get there, and swimming hole is gone, or at least all the water is drained. And one thing that I noticed with the lyrics that Mickey was singing, financial, legal, or women. Oh my gosh. Really? You know, I don't know how many people would actually notice that, but yeah, okay. It's comical. It's comical, but it's honestly relatable too. And I can kind of imagine, like, Minnie maybe standing behind a bush or something. I can imagine, like, the cartoon ending, or not, I can imagine a scene where Minnie happens to be standing behind the bush, and she's just standing there with her arms crossed, tapping her foot, and you hear her clear her throat, and Mickey stops, and his head slowly turns around, and Minnie makes a mention about forgetting your troubles, huh? And yeah, that's comical. I can also imagine that happening with Daisy and Donald here too. And then that moment whenever Donald is like, I need to forget my troubles. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Like, oh my gosh, what the heck? I was waiting for Donald to, like, explode right there. I was waiting for him to just explode. And yeah, it's really, it's blunt, but it's funny at the same time. And again, the animation is very exaggerative, and it works. It really does work. And again, the hijinks, how Pete dug up the hole and kept the water in it. Again, it's a cartoon, don't question it. It just works. And again, it's an interesting animation. Again, they're keeping in tune with the whole peg leg Pete thing, with Pete having the peg leg. And again, the animals, yeah, I could see all those animals, but the snake, yeah, if I knew there was a snake in a swimming hole or a pond or something I was going to go swimming in, pretty sure I wouldn't be diving in that particular one. And again, it was hilarious whenever the sun just decided to close for the season. And again, I love this animation style, how soft and smooth and like brushstroke like a brushstroke painting that this looks. I love the texture. I love this design. It's so smooth. It's vibrant. Yet like it's colorful. Yet at the same time, it's so soft and soothing. Then we see this little camping setup with Pete, and this kind of makes me think about a Goofy movie. And it's interesting. Pete has barbed wire, electrified barbed wire around his swimming hot tub thing. And it's interesting because Pete's wearing like the little the little the little swimsuit. It makes me think about that moment in a Goofy movie whenever Goofy was trying to relax in the hot tub and Pete um, steps into the hot tub wearing something like that. Yeah. And it's interesting because here we have this like a standard pool camper. It looks like it kind of looks like the Airstream, but it isn't. And I like the design for that camper. It looks realistic, and again, it's beautifully designed. And it's kind of interesting because here you have this big, like a 55 Chevy pickup like a 55 Chevy stepside, or an Apache. Well, Chevy Apache, or GMC Apache. And how the heck is that tow hook or actually able to pull that? I don't know. It's cartoon logic. And it was hilarious whenever Mickey, Donald, Goofy started getting electrocuted. And yeah, we get an interesting look at the internal structure of the characters. I just now noticed that, like, Goofy has one bone in his head, just one bone. Like, there's no skull, there's just one bone. His hat even has a bone in it. How is that even possible? It's Goofy. I don't know. And Mickey has two bones in his ears. Again, kind of makes me wonder about that because, like I have seen before, moments where like Mickey was able to, like remove his ears, like flatten them down. So, but again, this is for comical purposes. And then that split second where they just poof, rocket off, and land in a nearby barn. Yeah, that's gold. That's gold. And it was kind of funny because that moment whenever Goofy made that mention about that place is booby trapped, I was kind of waiting for Mickey or Donald, one or the other, to suggest that they send in that if it's a booby trap, that they send in a booby, and then they look at Goofy. That's kind of what I was expecting. And I love the design for that old tractor. Granted, I'm not as into tractors as I am, I'm not into tractors like I'm older vehicles, but it's interesting that they make some sort of bulldozer-like tow truck from this thing. And Goofy's just sitting on the top of it, very unsafe. Donald's sitting on the hood, again, very unsafe, but it's cartoon logic, don't question it. And I love that music that they were playing. And during that particular scene, I love that music. I love this chase scene with them. And again, I absolutely love the design for that pickup truck. I freaking love that pickup truck. Then again, I'm a classic car nut, so yeah, of course I'm going to love that old truck. And I'm so glad they didn't wreck it. I'm so glad they didn't wreck that truck. And another interesting thing that you see with the interior of the truck is the realistic detailing for the instrument panel. This isn't just something bland. No, this is classic. The steering wheel actually has the three pieces that connect it, and even has that smaller rounded metal piece going along the bottom of it. The gauge is designed exact. I mean, it's exact to the truck, and it's a column shift. I mean, like, he didn't reach down for a console shift. No, it's actually a column shift. And it's got and it's kind of funny because it has the exact same setup as my truck. Park, reverse, neutral, drive, first and second. That's the only gears my truck has. It's got the exact same gears, and it's in the exact same setup too. And we see like the accurate depiction of the truck going 90 miles an hour. I love how that they did that. How they did that, and that little spin that the truck does at the last second was really cool, and how it had that little bit of a shake with the shocks. Again, I love that. And again, just look at the detail on that tractor. I mean, the tread on the tractor, on the tires. I mean, it's just gorgeous how they did that. And then this little musical segment while the rain is flowing down, creating this little bitty stream. This made me think of Fantasia. Again, it's beautifully crafted. It's beautifully done. I love the detail for it. And again, it makes me think of Fantasia. And again, they didn't spare anything with the detail. I mean, you can see all kinds of detail with this tractor over here. You can see the engine components, like the carburetor, everything in there. I mean, you can see a lot of the detail in there, and it's just incredible with how realistic that they made this look. It just looks great. And then the sun comes back out, and you have the banjo playing, and then you see the animals returning, and I thought it was also cool. I mean, like, Pete starts to walk away, and again, I love the scenery here. This, like, the sun shining through the trees here. I love that. Really, really artistic, really gorgeous. And then Pete starts to walk away sulking, and Mickey, like his natural, good-hearted style, he invites Pete to come inside and join them, because that's Mickey. That is Mickey, and that's his normal way. And I love it. I really love it. And again, this beautiful background, and it's interesting, this like a foggy effect, or like a smoky effect, or just like a picture book. I don't know. This effect around this, it's beautifully done, and it really adds to the gorgeous scenery around here. And again, I absolutely love this scenery. And it kind of makes it like, there's a couple different theories. This is just the artistic style that they went with. Or you could also imagine that this is like a dream, that this is all just a dream. But again, I really love how they did this. I love the animation that they went with for this. It's absolutely beautifully crafted. It's really, really well done. And it really does look great. I absolutely love it. And again, I really love that old truck. And I'm so glad they didn't wreck the truck at the end. I'm so glad they didn't wreck that truck. I would have cried. But again, it really does look great, and I'm very happy to see these cartoons back. I wondered if they were actually going to continue, because it had been a while since Season 3 had ended with the Christmas special, and I honestly wondered if they was going to continue. I read somewhere, I read on something, it was like a wiki. It wasn't like the Disney Wiki exactly, but it was something like that, that mentioned that Season 4 had been canceled. It didn't say why, but it said that Season 4 had been canceled. And so I wondered if they was actually going to bring it back or not. I figured that I automatically assumed that they had decided not to go through with the 4th season, because they were doing Mickey and Anne and the Roadster Racers. And I actually like that series. I actually think it's cute. I also think it's fun, and it has cars in it. But I figured that they had stopped with the cartoons because they were working on that. But I'm glad that both are continuing. I'm glad that both Mickey and the Roadster Racers is continuing, and I'm also glad that these cartoons are also continuing as well, because obviously both have potential that they both have potential that the other doesn't really have. And so I'm really glad that they are continuing with these. I'm really happy that I really hope that they continue and go further, much further past Season 4. I'd like to keep going through a Season 8 or Season 10. I mean, look how many of the Disney cartoons with all the Disney characters. exist from 1928 all the way up. Okay, just the Mickey cartoons alone from 1928 to 1953. Look at the Goofy cartoons, the Donald cartoons. There's so much potential. I mean, look how many years that those cartoons lasted. These cartoons could continue on for a long, long time. And they're extremely popular. A lot of people love them. Yeah, you got some people that complain about them, but we ignore those people anyway. We don't give a hoot. But anyway, these cartoons are well loved, and I love these cartoons myself. They're cute, they're fun, they're new, they're fresh, and I really hope that they do continue with these. And Roadster Racers Roadster Racers as well, because again, both have wonderful potential. Both, I think, are really great and really fun, and I'm really hoping that they do continue with both. And again, I absolutely love this, and it's great to see these cartoons back. And again, I really like this cartoon. This cartoon itself was magnificent in its artistic style, with the backgrounds, the scenery, and the props. The pickup truck, that Chevy or GMC truck, the Apache. I keep wanting to say Apache. I apologize, I could be wrong on that. Yeah, like a 55 Chevy 3100 pickup. I'm looking. I had to look it up to confirm. Yeah, like a 1955 Chevy 3100. There's also it could be the 3100, or it could be the Chevy Apache, the 55 Chevy Apache. Looking it up right now, there's a picture right here of a lifted Apache of a 55 Apache, and so again, that could easily be it. So again, I'm not sure if it's a 31. If it's a 3100 or if it's the Apache. Again, it could be either one, and I apologize that I don't know that, but again, I'm more familiar with vehicles from the 70s. I'm still learning, obviously, about vehicles. There's always something new to learn, and there is a lot to learn, but anyway, yeah, I'm a really beautiful choice for a truck, because again, the 55 Chevy truck is in fact an iconic pickup. It's a beautiful looking truck, and again, I love how they did it with that truck. I'm glad that they didn't. I'm honestly glad that the body itself looks stock, that they didn't give it massive exhaust sticking up. They didn't give it a massive hood scoop or the massive blower. They didn't radically change the truck. The only thing that the truck had different was it had a much larger lift kit on it, had larger tires, had like mudding tires or like mud tires on it. But again, and a winch, pardon me, and a winch attached. But otherwise, the truck itself looked bone stock. Okay, judging from the engine sound, it could have been the 350. But I mean, it could have been the 350. It could have been a 350 engine. Could have also been a 327, 427, 454. But given how vehicles are modified, it wouldn't surprise me if it was the LT1 engine. It never actually showed whether the truck was carbureted or if it was if it was fuel injected. It's left up to interpretation. But again, it would have been interesting if they actually had recorded an actual sound of a Chevy engine to put with that, but it kind of sounded like kind of a generic sort of engine revving. But I'm certainly not complaining with that. I'm certainly not complaining. But again, I love what they did with it. I love how the truck looked, and I'm so glad that they didn't destroy it. I would have cried. And again, I love how that they went with the realistic design for the interior of the truck itself. They didn't just create a generic looking interior. No, they actually went all out. Like, they actually designed the interior for the truck. They gave it the actual steering wheel. They gave it the actual 50s style steering wheel. They gave it the 50s instrument panel. And most vehicles that you see like that in cartoons, most of the time, you never see them use a column shift. It's always a console shifter. And I'm so glad that they went with a column shift for this because, you know, okay, column shifter is my favorite style, but it's more natural for this truck. It's more natural. And yay, column shift, get some love! Column shifts, get some love! So, again, I really enjoyed this cartoon. As you can tell, I went, again, my art geek kind of came out there, as well as my as well as my gearhead thing with the truck. But again, and my Disney side here. Again, I love these cartoons, and it's really great to be able to see it again. And I love what they did with this cartoon. And with this cartoon here, with the artistic style and with the realistic detailing for the props and everything, I'm really looking forward to what the rest of this season has in store. And I'm really excited for it. So again, to Disney, thank you so much, Disney, for bringing these cartoons back. I'm really happy to see these cartoons back. I know a ton of other people are too. Thank you so much for continuing with these cartoons. Really, really happy to see these continuing. Thank you so much for the magnificent animation style and the realistic detailing that you put into this as well. It makes it so much more natural. It makes it so much more realistic. It makes it look so much better. And thank you so much for that as well. Also, thanks so much for continuing with Mickey and the Roadster Racers 2. Wonderful series as well. Thanks so much for that too. And also, thank you to my best friend and the other people on YouTube as well for recommending, for telling me about this cartoon. Thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate it. I'm really happy to be able to continue with these cartoons as well, because it was great to be able to have something Disney based as well on my channel, not just the Kingdom Hearts trailers whenever they would come out, which was kind of few and far between, but again, really happy to see these continuing as well. So again, thank you guys again for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.